Our first outing in Cannon Beach. We walked from the RV park to this little trail out to see Haystack Rock and walk the beach and see if we can see anything in the tidal pools. We are about an hour before low tide, and that's when they said to come out to see tidal pools, so that's what we're doing. Out looking in the tidal pools, some starfish here. It's neat to see them just fresh out of the water, and you can see they're soft, because in your head you think that they are rigid. This is the stuff that we're looking for. We've seen the sea star. We haven't seen a hermit crab yet. We've seen the turpin snail. We have not seen the keyhole limpet or the sea lemon yet. We've seen the great sea anemone. We've seen the little tidal pool sculpin fish, no crabs, tons of barnacles, no opulent nudibranch. Somebody else has to pronounce this stuff for me.
And they can get, about that big. They're one of the bigger ones. Whereas, it looks like there's a listing there.
Not very big.
Puffins.
They're not very big.
Look quick, because that is cute. They look like little men. They do. I might have to.
We are up on Silver Point Lookout, looking south towards Manzanita, way off in the distance. Just out for a little scenic viewpoint drive this afternoon after our morning on the beach. We are at Acadia Beach here on a very nice beach day. Lots of people out playing on the beach and building sand castles and having a good time. Wind-blown trees. You think the wind blows very much here? We came down here to Hug Point because apparently there's some tunnel or there's something. You walk around to a waterfall. Turns out the tunnel is actually this thing, which is a cave, and the tide is too far in to walk around the point, which I'll film in a minute. So maybe we'll come back in the morning on our way to our hike. And there's some people trying to walk around, see what they can see. We are starting out on the Clatsop Loop trail. This is the area where Lewis and Clark hiked. Yes, it really is this dark and dense. We have been about a mile.
No, we have not.
Mine says 0.98. And it says we've been about 530 feet up. It's humid and cool.
No, there is no cool. I've now come to believe that there is no cool associated with humid in the entire 48 lower states. Humid and hot, and there's humid and hot, no matter where you are.
Well, it is a nice smooth trail given the fact that it's kind of an old forest road.
For this half.
For this half.
We have broken our forest rule. That's how humid it is. We have taken our hats off in a forest so we get the 10 degrees and the breeze.
Well, we found the elevation where the fog starts. Okay, here we are. We made it up to the what I think is pretty much the top, 1.3 miles, 700 feet, according to my watch. And we are at a junction here. We're going to the viewpoint so we can go see the fog that should be Tillamook Lighthouse.
We're in Oregon.
This is a thru hikers camp area for the people on the Oregon Coast Trail. And we're hoping that noise you hear is a breeze and not rain. Well, this is hikers camp, through hikers only for the Oregon Coast Trail. This is super nice. Got little shelters and sheltered picnic table and super nice. This is the viewpoint we hiked up here to see.
I got a glimpse of the rocks for 2 seconds on my way down, and then they're gone.
What we thought we heard was wind or rain initially is actually the ocean way down there.
But way better than rain.
You see Tillamook Lighthouse is out there, and
That's it.
this is what you see.
To look like.
There is a bunker left over from World War II lookout. You've seen in some of our other videos that the Japanese actually got to the Oregon coast. So there was a lot of fear and protection going on during the war, and here's a bunker left over.
Out those, I guess, 7, 8, 9, 10 babies growing out of that. And there's our favorite when there's ferns growing out. Huge. Those suckers could have been here when, I think it was just Clark, actually. I think it was just Clark that came here with a group, not Lewis. I think he did the exploration for the whale blubber that they'd heard that Indians were harvesting on the beach. The farthest west that the expedition ever came was here. Cool. Cool, cool.
We are headed back to Indian Beach. This is supposed to be more along the coast, but I think it's going to be the forest, and regardless, it won't matter to us with all the fog till we get lower.
It's beautiful.
It's very beautiful and very unique. And it's very cool to think that Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea were right here where we are. 220 years ago.
Cool.
This tree that's down here was actually snapped off by the wind. The wind blows hard enough and catches all the branches and twists it, and eventually snaps it right off. And this is the bottom of it, we think.
You gotta stop and look.
It's a cool tree, all the ferns growing out of the branches. It's still alive, don't think it's a dead tree.
Cool. Making money out of the name like Big Ten, when there is no Big Ten.
Well, we can see it. You probably can't see it on the video, but you can see the shoreline and the coast, and I can hear the waves and the water crashing. So we're down enough now that we're out of the fog. Even the ground here is dry. There you can see Cannon Beach way off in the distance.
And maybe it's not in the sun, maybe it's just the sand that's brighter than the darker wet sand that makes it look like it's in the sun.
The water you hear is down there at Indian Beach. We'll go check that out after our hike. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, here we are about a half a mile from the end of the trail. If we would have started down by Indian Beach. And there's a view of the lighthouse. Tillamook Lighthouse.
We have no idea how to say that, by the
Or
way.
Tillamook, we don't know how to say it. Kind of a theme of the trip. Craig's inability to pronounce
Poor
anything.
Jennifer's this trip. We've been saying things for 5 years incorrectly, and now they're in our heads, so we can't say them correctly.
Pretty steep down that way.
We can hear them, the sea lions, but I don't know that you could have seen them from that big point up there.
Okay, I'm trying to hold it steady enough. Looks like a bunch of seals, maybe. Down there. Just
Well, they are.
chilling out.
It's not maybe.
We found a nice overlook right above Indian Beach that has a nice bench that we're going to have a snack on as we finish up our hike.
To watch and watch.
To watch the surfers.
Believe it or not. They bet they get them at this one. Somebody gets that one. Yeah, see, there he comes. Oh, it didn't last very long. I wonder how they decide. Just because it has a white cap and looks like it's a big wave doesn't mean it's going to get him very far. I don't know anything about that world.
Neither.
Go.
This is Crescent Beach from Ecola State Park, where they filmed some of the Goonies. Haystack Rock out there where we saw the tidal pools. This is Cannon Beach at high tide. Just think, we were out there walking on the sand, and right now that water is 9 feet deeper than it was the day we were there for the tide pools and the starfish. And there's a few people on the beach today. And it really wasn't a great beach day. Until now. And you can see the pelicans flying in a formation. We are out for a morning walk on the beach by Haystack Rock again. And seagulls. Don't stand near Jennifer when there are seagulls flying. She got bombed the other day.
Not too bad. This splat up, not directly on me.
The morning sea haze fog at Haystack Rock on our walk here. We went down to, what's the name of that place? We went towards Tolavana, and now we're walking all the way back up to the north end of Cannon Beach to the coffee shop called Insomnia. We haven't tried yet.
Another 4 miles down the road, literally.
Somebody's sandcastle here on the beach from yesterday, it looks like. Maybe early this morning. We are starting out on the Cape Falcon Trail near Soft Sands Beach.
That means don't wear your flip-flops and take an 8-ounce bottle of water.
We'll see how this trail goes. Back into the same kind of forest we've seen everywhere else.
Beautiful. Beautiful forest everywhere else.
Not sure if you can see the stream all the way down there. Couldn't figure out why there was this railing here. And then I looked, and it's a pretty steep drop down, straight down there. This is the intersection that starts the out and back to Cape Falcon. This way. You can hear the water on the beach. And you can see some of it out there through the trees. Can't figure out what these big, giant, shiny leaves are for. Rainforesty.
Plants of some kind in there with the ferns and nurse logs and.
Look at this tree that's grown out of the log, and these are all of its roots.
Oh, that's cool.
That are all stuck into the log. You can see the tree back there. See all the roots, and it's in the ground as well, but it's all over the tree.
Very cool.
Lots of roots to hike on this route, and there's so much hiking on it, the roots get shiny from people, from people walking on them. Dark in here. Just can't believe how dense and thick these forests are. We're back at the shore coastline again. Soft Sands Beach down there. Short Sands Beach, sorry. And I guess there's a waterfall down here that you can see from the beach, I think. I don't think you can see it on the trail. Maybe you can. These are the kind of coastal hikes that we've been looking for. There's a good view of the beach and the cove at Short Sands. No surfers. Oh, there's a couple surfers way out there today. At some point, we'll have to go back up again. There's our trail, switching back and forth. We have about a half mile to go till we get to the point of the Cape. Here we are, trudging to the last 1/10 of a mile up to the Cape. Through shrubs and bushes that are taller than we are. And the whole Cape is in this stuff. It's almost like a maze you're in. Don't touch the cup at the end.
The cup?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Oh, Harry Potter reference. Got it.
Well, we made it to Cape Falcon. Just a little small turnaround point that I had my fingers crossed there'd be a bench here, but I don't see one, so we'll have to get the thanks Matt and Karen mats out to sit.
I found our log to sit on.
You can sit right there on the edge.
Craig.
Great view to hike to. This is about as far out on the point as we can go. Jennifer's been very brave out here. I'm very proud of her. This is all you get out here. You can see the other side. We're just on a narrow kind of spit looking out. Little caves or something down there by the water, see them?
Yep, that's right. Picture.
We're still looking for a whale.
People have slid or rock slides or something.
Rock
down
slides,
there.
probably.
One, two, three.
Headed back after visiting the point in the big tall maze. Sun came out, ocean's blue. That's a lot of ocean out there. Walking back here, and then all of a sudden we are back in the dark, dense forest. Just like that. A lot brighter beach this time. Well, it says low tide is somewhere around 11:45, and it's 11:15 right now, so you can see how big the beach looks. The tide changes anywhere from 2 to 8 feet depending on the day and what time of day.
String must come all the way up here.
Yep. Walking across the little stepping stone tree trunk.
Cool. Super cool.
One last beach overlook. If you look close, and if you can see it in the video, you can see where the sand, the water's out there coming onto the beach, and then there's that damp looking sand, and then there's some water that's residual from when the tide went out, and then some darker sand, and then the lightest color sand. Well, that dark to light sand is how high the tide comes in. Well, here we are at the end of the trail. 6.4 miles plus Craig's extra 1.5 miles.